So I'm learning all the time. I've missed Paul Beachy, the first place runner, again, but this time not because I arrived late, but because I've had technical problems with the camera and the streaming equipment, and I was desperately pressing the button to get online and it wouldn't get online. I couldn't work out what was the matter with it. Anyway, what it's taught me is that I can't just press the button 2 seconds before the runner arrives. I have to be ready well in advance of that and know that it's going to connect. Anyway, so Paul Beachy, it's now 2:05 in the afternoon. Paul Beachy has gone past and is headed down into Tyneham. So we're here for the second time. We're at the same location we were earlier on this morning, at the top of the hill with Tyneham down below. So we've got Durdle Door and Lulworth Cove in that direction. Just that you can see the entrance to Lulworth Cove over there. And then in that direction we have Swanage, and Kimmeridge Bay is about a couple of miles that way. And I think runner number 2 is on his way. I think I saw somebody running down that hill. So we're just going to wait for runner number 2, and we're going to try our darnest to get to Corfe Castle before Paul Beachy gets there. And I'm determined, I'm determined to see him more than once on this run today. I caught him here at the beginning, but then we missed him at Corfe Castle, we missed him at Swanage, and we've missed him again here at Tyneham. So never mind. We live and learn, don't we? So yeah, we're back on the top. This is kind of Swire Head, Tyneham, Kimmeridge, Lulworth Cove in Dorset in the UK, and this is the Purbeck Ultra we're following today. Later on this afternoon we're following the Purbeck 5K, which kicks off at 6 o'clock. But right now we're following the Ultra. This is 54 miles. They started at 7:30 this morning, and they've run from Swanage all the way round the marathon course once, and they're now on their second loop, and they are now at 42 miles. So when they hit this point here where I'm standing, they're at 42 miles, and here is Ash in second place. So let's see how Ash is feeling. How you doing, Ash?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah? Do you feel like you're starting to slow down, or are you still full of energy? What's going on?
Oh, looking forward to the end now.
Yeah?
Bit warm, yeah.
Well, you're at 42 miles.
Lovely.
So drop down to Kimmeridge. There's a aid station down there. Yeah. Up the hill. And then 2 ridges. One ridge to Corfe and 1 ridge home.
Brilliant. You finished?
Yes, mate. See you later. Well done, Ash. You are about 5 minutes behind Paul. So if you've got any energy on the hills, you can catch him. So that's Ash in second place in the Ultra. And as I just said to him, he's about 5 minutes behind Paul Beachy. Paul Beachy's... I can see Paul Beachy climbing up the hill on the other side. You won't be able to, because he's just a tiny white dot on that road going up the side of the hill. But I could see him there. And here's one of our Nordic... Are you a Nordic walker?
I just happened to be running.
You just happen to be here?
Yeah, I just happened to have done 14 miles on the hill.
Well, good for you.
Thank you.
So I really love this location. Looking that way. I always love it. Whenever I do the marathon here, I love looking out there. And I'll just repeat what I said this morning. So runners come along here, along the coast path. They leave the coast path here and go down into Tyneham. Tyneham is an abandoned village that's now... All this is a military training ground. So during the week, this is closed to the public. Apart from the coast path, all of this down here is closed to the public, and the military use it for a firing range. And that village... was overtaken, was abandoned in the 1940s, and the army took it over for training. So I don't know what happened to all the people that used to live there, but you can go down there now and you can look around the old school, the old church, and some of the old houses. They're still standing, obviously rather derelict now, but they're looked after. I don't know if it's National Trust or English Heritage, but I think it's National Trust. So yes, so the runners go down there. There's an aid station down there, and all the Nordic walkers can use that as well. And then they go up that path there on the opposite side of the hill. They run all the way along this ridge here, and that ridge takes them 5 miles to Corfe Castle. When they get into Corfe, they go through the town at Corfe, across the steam railway bridge that you might have seen with me earlier on, the steam railway line, and then once they're over there, they climb up another hill onto another ridge, and that ridge is about 3 miles long. Takes them right along to Swanage, and then it's a couple of miles drop down into Swanage, and that's home. So Paul Beachy and Ash now have about 8 miles left to go. No, 12 miles left to go. So we're waiting for runner number 3, which should be Charlie. Charlie didn't stop very long at all at the aid station at Swanage when we saw him. He had a couple of bananas, or took a couple of bananas, didn't take anything to drink, and just went straight off. So he should be along shortly, and following him is James, and then Dave in 5th place. Is that right? Yeah, James and Dave in 5th place. Took quite a long time at the aid station at Swanage. So we'll wait for them as well, possibly, or we might just get straight onto Corfe and make sure that we catch. Yes, let's do that. Let's get straight onto Corfe Castle and make sure that we catch Paul Beachy at Corfe. So we'll wait for Charlie. I'll have a look at Facebook chat if you want to ask me any questions, or if you want to say anything, then I can have a look now while we're waiting. I haven't seen anybody running down the hill. Oh, maybe there is. It's just a bit difficult to see from this far away. No, maybe not. I haven't seen anyone just yet. Having a bit of trouble accessing Facebook at the moment. This signal is not great on top of the hill here for the phone. All the Nordic walkers will have gone past here already. So the Nordic walkers will be somewhere along that ridge there either at Corfe or getting towards Corfe by now. And my internet is not working. It's a bit frustrating. So I can't, if you're messaging me on Facebook, I can't see anything at the moment because I have no internet signal. So I can only hope that the stream is going out. I think it is, because I've got a good signal on my streaming box, but nothing on my phone, unfortunately. Still no sign of Charlie in third place. It just gets to a bit of a waiting game, doesn't it? But if you're happy to look at the pretty view, then I shall keep the stream going. I'm still trying to access internet with very little success at the moment on my phone. Just getting a blank screen. Oh, now Siri wants to talk. See if I can give my internet box a little more room to breathe. Maybe I'll have better success now. Or maybe not. So we've waited quite a long time now for Charlie, but I do think I can see him. Can I see him coming down the hill? I thought I saw a runner then coming down the hill, but I might be wrong. It's wishful thinking, isn't it? Somebody going up the hill, but there's no one coming down the hill. So there's more and more separation now between second and third. Definitely a lot more than there was. All right, so the person I thought was a runner is a walker and has gone through a different gate. All right, guys. So we're hanging on in vain at the moment. Nothing happening. So many apologies if you're watching this and you're trying to message me on Facebook or YouTube. I have zero internet on my phone, so no signal, no Wi-Fi signal, no data signal at all. I have data signal for the camera, and that's working all right, but I cannot do oh, and then all of a sudden my phone buzzes, disproving everything I've just said. But I can't get anything on Facebook. Facebook is just not loading at all. Let's see if I can load YouTube. Let's see. I haven't tried YouTube. No. Nothing happening on YouTube either. So I've got no internet access on my phone. I know it did just buzz then, but it's just a notification that managed to squeeze through. Right, is this a runner? No, it's not. More southwest coast path walkers coming along. Nordic walkers have gone. They're already through. So we're waiting for Charlie, who is in third place, unless he's been caught and overtaken by James or Dave, who are fourth and fifth. As soon as we see Charlie, I think we need to, well, we definitely need to get on to Corfe Castle to try and catch Paul Beachy in the lead at Corfe, and then dash to Swanage to see him finish. And I'm hanging on as long as I possibly can. I did think that third place would be here by now. But I guess it's difficult to assess how much somebody's going to slow up on the second loop of something like this, because the elevation it's not massive, but it's not flat by any means, and it does sap your legs, and it is rolling, so it's up and down with one or two big hills. This is one of the big climbs here. So once you've done that 2 or 3 times, you will slow up. Paul Beachy was half an hour slower to this point on his second lap than he was on his first. He was here in 2 hours on his first lap, and on his second lap he's taken 2.5 hours. So if he's in the lead, one would expect that people behind might take even longer, say 35, 40 minutes, 45 minutes extra to do the same distance. At the moment we're nearly 2:30 in the afternoon. They started at 7:30, so 7 hours going so far. So lots of walkers coming up the hill from Tyneham, and some walkers coming along the coast path. But unfortunately no runners coming down the hill. There's a point up there where you can stop and admire the view, and there's a bench at the top of the hill there, which is an absolutely stunning spot. It's just a little bit too far for me to walk from here.
One of these monsters himself has started to find that all of this stuff was a defence and a way of coping with the original hurt, which has been worked by heart. And it's not talking right. As you would say, it's not talking right.
Right, there is a black dot just coming down the hill, and it looks like it could be somebody running, or they're walking very fast. Please God, it's somebody running. Oh no, they're going off on a different path, are they? No, maybe not. Right, I'm just going to keep my eye on this black dot as it gets closer and see if it's somebody running, as opposed to somebody walking. I think it is, I think this is our third place runner. He's certainly not bounding down the hill. but at 42 miles into the Ultra, he's probably fairly tired. But he's definitely going faster than a walker. So he's either a really speedy walker, or he's just running steadily, trying to conserve energy in this heat. It is really warm now. Yeah, this has got to be him now. No, don't tell me he's going through the fence and it's not him. Oh, please don't say that. Oh dear, I don't think it is him now. I can't believe it, it's not him. Oh dear, where is number 3? I guess one of the problems with it being a small field, you know, if this was the marathon, if I was doing this for the marathon, there would be a steady stream of 400 runners coming past. As it is, we've got 12, 13 runners, of which we've seen 5 spread out over 42 miles. So it has been a bit of a challenge to find content. There we are. So that black dot that I was hoping was going to be our runner, Charlie, is not our runner, Charlie. And the longer we wait, the less likelihood we have of catching Paul Beachy at Corfe Castle. Because that's half an hour now, maybe, since he's gone past. And it's, you know, it's not going to take him much more than half an hour to get those 5 miles, maybe an hour at the most, to get those 5 miles. By the time I've driven away, walked down the hill, driven to Tyneham, driven to Corfe Castle, that's that time gone. So it really is now a question of how long can we wait? Can we wait any more time for number 3 to come past? And I'm definitely beginning to think that we can't. Much as I would like to. Again, it's like when we were at halfway. You've got one runner coming through, then you wait 20 minutes for another runner, then 20 minutes for another runner. And it's now been half an hour. And still no sign of anyone at the top of the hill there. So, and I can't chat to you on Facebook because I've got no internet signal, so I can't interact with you via YouTube or Facebook chat. Okay, I think we're going to have to do something, aren't we? We're going to do something. So what I'll do is I'll walk down the hill. I shall keep the camera rolling. If the signal goes, the signal goes. There's not a lot I can do about it. I'd be very surprised if there is a signal down there in the car park. But I will just keep the camera rolling. If our third place runner comes past, then all well and good. If he doesn't, then we'll just get on to Corfe Castle, and fingers crossed we meet Paul Beachy at Corfe. But we can't stand around here doing nothing for the next however many minutes. There's still no one coming down that hill, so it's not worth hanging on any more, I don't think. So let's get going. And we'll see how long the signal holds up, shall we? You'll soon find out when it starts to go all blotchy. The terrain of the Purbeck Ultra is very easy, really. It's mostly fairly soft, grassy fields underfoot. There is a bit of track and a little bit of tarmac as well. The most difficult bit is the final descent into Swanage, which is quite rocky. There's a little bit of rockiness down just here as well, but in general there's very little of that. It's mostly very easy underfoot. All the ridges on the top of the hills and the coast path, it's all relatively soft and easy ground underfoot. But the difficult part of it is at this time of year it's hot, so that you're running in the heat is an issue, and the elevation up and down. It's constant up and down, although the climbs aren't massive and the total elevation isn't enormous. It's big enough, probably about 1,500 metres per lap. So the marathon itself is about 1,500 metres elevation, and but that's all made up of short ups and downs, so that can easily sap the legs as well. So just here it gets a little bit rocky underfoot, but nothing too drastic. Just as you head down into the car park. No runners behind me. And warning you now, if you're watching, do be aware that the stream may just become all blocky and disappear any second now, because we're walking down into the valley, and I have no phone signal on my phone up on the top here, so there's even less likelihood of there being any internet signal down here, and so even my camera may start to die. But you can see the route here. So I can tell that the signal is gradually degrading. We're less than 3,000 kilobits per second now, so less than 3 megabits per second.